The Russian state arms export conglomerate Rostec has made a renewed effort to pitch the Su-35 fighter aircraft to the Indian Defense Ministry, pledging that the aircraft can be supplied rapidly to allow the Indian Air Force to make up its significant shortfall of tactical combat jets. With the retirement of the MiG-27 and the majority of MiG-21s from service, India's fleet of fighters and attack jets has fallen to just 31 squadrons, or under 75% of the sanctioned fleet size of 42 squadrons, while retirement of remaining MiG-21s are expected to result in further contraction. Rostec has claimed that Su-35s could rapidly fill this gap in the fleet, and particularly stressed that the doubling of production of the aircraft will allow for rapid deliveries to form 2 new squadrons every 2 to 3 years. Director General of the state-run United Aircraft Corporation Vadim Badeka in March revealed that work was underway to significantly increase the scale of production of the Su-35, with officials at the United Arms Corporation observing that the firm was investing in workforce training and infrastructure modernization to eliminate bottlenecks and sustain higher production rates. While expansion in the production scales of the Su-34 strike fighter and Su-57 fifth-generation fighter had been confirmed, this was an unexpected development for the Su-35. The increase was likely a response to both a rise in export demand, including new orders from Iran and Algeria, as well as the significant expansion of Russia's own fighter fleet at a time of particularly high tensions with NATO members and ongoing clashes with Western forces in Ukraine. One major reason behind this is India's Su-30 MKI fleet. According to reports, during the Shanghai Cooperation Organization meeting, the Indian Defense Minister met with the Russian Defense Minister, where discussions were held regarding upgrading the Su-30 MKI. The Su-30 MKI is the backbone of the Indian Air Force, but no major upgrades have been implemented so far. The aircraft was first used in combat in 2019, where it was shot down. Recently, it was again deployed in combat, and once again, it was shot down. On paper, the Su-30 MKI looks like a capable fighter jet, but its radar and avionics are still of fourth-generation standards. The aircraft is equipped with a PESA radar, which cannot compete with today's modern AESA radars. Its electronic warfare systems are also outdated. The Su-30 MKI uses AL-31FP engines, which produce 76 kilonewtons of thrust. Another limitation is that it currently carries R-77 air-to-air missiles, but India wants to integrate long-range air-to-air missiles on this platform. Due to these limitations, Russia has offered India the Su-35, suggesting that instead of upgrading the Su-30, India should procure the Su-35, whose production Russia has already doubled. Along with that, Russia has also offered the Su-57 stealth fighter to India, because the Su-35 already includes almost all the upgrades India has been demanding. For example, the Su-35 is equipped with the latest AL-41F1S engines, which generate 88 kilonewtons of thrust even without afterburners. In addition, the Su-35 can carry the R-37 hypersonic very long-range air-to-air missile, significantly enhancing its air combat capabilities. However, when it comes to radar, the Su-35 is still slightly behind modern standards because it uses a PESA radar. To address this, Russia has proposed to India that they can integrate the same AESA radar used in the Russian Su-57 fifth-generation stealth fighter into the Su-35, effectively turning it into a 4.5+ generation fighter jet with significantly improved avionics and radar capability. On the other hand, India is considering integrating its own AESA radar system into the Su-35, possibly to enhance indigenous technology involvement and reduce dependence on Russian systems. Should the Indian Defense Ministry place orders for the Su-35, it could realistically field a fleet of close to 100 of the aircraft by the end of 2030, closing half its fighter shortfall. Nevertheless, the Su-35 faces a number of shortcomings in the sophistication of its sensors and primary air-to-air armaments in particular, which are expected to be addressed with the integration of a new radar, R-77M missiles, and a new visual range missile class, but have not yet been resolved. It appears more likely that procurement and license production of the Su-57 fifth-generation fighters, which was reported in February to be under consideration by the Defense Ministry, will materialize, particularly after Russia in May made an unprecedented offer to provide full access to the aircraft's source code under. The only major advantages of the Su-35 are its ability to be delivered more rapidly to meet the Air Force's immediate needs and the aircraft's significantly commonality with India's fleet of over 270 Su-30 MKI fighters. That's all for today's update. Please subscribe and like this video.